Hello, welcome to Krafting Kitty. My name is Erin. I have learned some things from my last review and hopefully they're only getting better from here. But I again wanted to start with kind of a basic overview of the yarn we're going to be looking at this week. And this week I also went back to the list of things that were suggested right here. I found it, and one of the next ones that was requested was the Mary Maxim Ragg yarn. And this is this wonderful kind of marled yarn. It's, look at how cool that is. Okay, so this is brown is the name. It's shade 445113. Good shade. Mary Maxim Ragg, R-A-G-G. It's a worsted 4. They want, again, this one doesn't have crochet hooks, but they want a 5mm US 8 knitting needle. And care instruction, machine washable and dryable. And they have that 2-minute, spiel on what you need to be doing. Wash using gentle, delicate cycle for 2 minutes. Then tumble dry using low heat for a maximum of 5 minutes. Then remove and lay flat to dry. Do not dry clean! Exclamation point. That sounds convoluted. If you're going to have to do that much, aren't you essentially laying flat to dry? Made in Turkey. This feels very nice. This is very nice and soft. 216 yards, 100% acrylic, 100 grams, 3.5 ounces. I'm excited to give this a try. I'm excited to see how it looks worked up. Let me hide behind the yarn. And yeah, this is something that I love using, marled yarns like this. But this one, I'm having a bit of trouble seeing how it will look in my mind's eye. We'll see what the mood strikes when I sit down with my hook and try to create with this. Last time I did realize maybe I would want to try to get a knit project done as well. Knitting just takes so much longer. But I want to make a larger project with it to get a good idea and a good feel for how it actually works with with the yarn, how the yarn actually works within a project. Not that a hat is a large project, but an actual item, not something that's just a 3-inch swatch. Let's get into it. Let's dig deep and see. Okay, so we're gonna break here. I'm gonna go craft, and I'll catch up with you in just a little bit. For you, it'll be mere second. Okay, bye-bye. Hey, and we are back, and I have done some work, and I'm here to talk a little bit more in depth about the Mary Maxim Ragg worsted weight yarn. Okay, so just a note, this is sunshine coming through my blinds. It's just that perfect time of day where the sun shines between the two. Hopefully it's not too distracting and we can work through it. Okay, so as promised, I went ahead and created an item using the yarn. Excuse me, clear my throat. I made a bingo sized beanie and she loves it. She says, but needs a pom-pom. So we shall make a pom-pom. I actually don't know if this is going to bingo or if I will put it in the donation box for child-sized beanie, but regardless, it is a useful item that has been created from the yarn, and it gave me a good feel on the use of it. I really like this yarn. It is very soft. It is a very nice 4-weight. It's a good thickness. There's a good weight to the yarn. It was fantastic. I really liked it. So the fabric, this I made using my Furls 5mm crochet hook. That's what was suggested on the ball band, but the ball band only suggests 5mm knitting needles. It does not suggest a crochet hook. This is a nice dense fabric. I think this is just fine. I think the yarn could have very easily have accommodated a 5.5 or 6 millimeter crochet hook, and I think you'd still be just as happy with the end product. Like I said, it is a good sized worsted 4-weight yarn. I really like the effect that the marling of the yarn created. I think this is very nice. I like it. You will not want to do anything complicated. You don't want to do any fancy stitches with this stuff. It'll just get obliterated. You won't see it at all. This is just a simple, again, double crochet beanie, and I finished it with a single row of single crochets just to finish the end. And this is what we got. And like I said, I really like it. I think it's a nice thick yarn. It feels very warm. There's not a lot bad I can say about this yarn. This is what's remaining. It's maybe half the yarn. I did start a knit project, so we'd have a bit more of a knit stitch to look at here today. Again, I really like the fabric that the knitting is producing. Again, I think you're going to want to stick to very simple stitches here. I've got, I'm doing a 5-stitch garter border on each side and then just stockinette stitch in the middle. So garter is where you knit both rows, so all rows you're just knitting. On stockinette you knit the right side and then you purl the back side. So that's what you've got. I'm thinking this is going to end up being, I thought maybe ear warmers, but then I think I made it a bit too wide, so it might end up being a cowl. I don't know, but this is hopefully going to be a completed project at the end and not just a swatch. So let me see. We've already gone through kind of the price, yardage, all those stats and care instructions. This is a very soft yarn as I use it. I was surprised. I've used a yarn called Ragg before. It was from Kramer Yarns, and it was very rough. The Kramer one was full wool and you felt it. It was everything people usually dislike about wool. This is 100% acrylic and it is very nice. It creates a very soft and squishy fabric. I like it. Okay, so for this row of the project, it will be a knit straight across in case you're curious. So I have no issues with this yarn being splitty. Here my needles, I'm using the Clover Takumi bamboo circulars. It's the number 8 5mm as suggested by the yarn, and it's a US 8, which is 4mm. If you're curious, this is the 24-inch circular. It's not fuzzy, it's not splitty. I have not encountered a knot in the ball yet. It's been a joy to work with, and as you can see, it is knitting very smoothly on these bamboo needles. There's a little bit of grippy, but it's not bad at all. I quite like it. And then, so there we go, we finished that row. We'll flip it around. We'll do the next row because that'll have some pearls in it. Yeah, so I'm having no struggles in using this yarn at all. It's not like over drying my hands or anything. Like I said, there's been no knots, snags, imperfections in the yarn whatsoever. There's my 5th stitch for the border, and now I'm gonna change to purling. There we go. Let's see if I can purl and talk at the same time. The feel and quality of the fabric that's being produced is very nice. It's a nice, dense, warm feeling fabric. I think this will be absolutely wonderful yarn for hats, scarves, cowl, outerwear, mittens. This would make fabulous mittens or gloves. I think kind of a thicker, heavy duty cardigan would be lovely in it. I've forgotten to count my stitches, so I need to pay attention here while I get to the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, just one more purl, and then we'll knit, and that's going to be kind of the end of my knitting exhibition here. So one part in the last video, I thought we had some issues seeing the swatch. I think it looks better here. Let me know what your thoughts are. But here is the knit fabric swatch. I really like it. I think it looks nice. It's nice and thick. It's warm. It's soft. It's what I would want from a yarn making a kind of a winter apparel from. I'm going to work my crochet swatch from the outside. So if you see me kind of struggling at yarn management, that's why. I'm going to just use the same Furls Ebony 5mm crochet hook, but like I said, I think a 5.5 would be awesome with this yarn. Oh, I'm getting a text message. Let's see. Okay, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the hat was all double crochet. So you can kind of see with the double crochet. There's a row of single crochets there. It doesn't show up too great, but it's there. But let's do a quick kind of swatch here on the 5mm crochet hook, so we can get how it plays out in all of them. I'm tempted to not do like a popcorn stitch because we know it's not going to show up. But maybe you do the popcorn stitch just because you know it's not going to show up, and to prove it. Let's get a couple more stitches in here going. Oh, that's a knot I created myself by drawing from the end of the yarn. There we go. Okay, sorry, I'm getting text messages from Brian here while I'm trying to do this. He's got the kids out at the arcade, and things do not seem to be going well. But given the time of day, it's nearing dinner time, I'm sure the kids are a little tuckered and ready to be done. Okay, so there's our row of single crochets. Let's do a quick row of half doubles. See how those turn out. And I mean, here again, things are moving smooth as silk. This is a pointy crochet hook. If I have issues with furls, it's kind of pulling back through the loops. You know, the head part here gets caught for me. The hook part, I don't know what you want to call that thing. But yeah, that's where, and there I fumbled a little bit. I think that's more trying to talk, show, and crochet at the same time. And Erin isn't that talented. Oh dear. Well, this is gonna be a mess, isn't it? Okay, we're doing it. We're doing the best we can. Okay, so we got some half doubles there. I'll chain one, do some, that looks so nice. I mean, that looks pretty. You don't have great stitch definition, but there I think it is the marling, the rag style of the yarn, and it's cool. I like it. Again, if you don't like a busy yarn, I don't think this is going to be one that's for you. Oh, that sunspot is moving the direction I didn't think it would be. I thought it was going to head this way, not this way. Oh, goodness. Okay. What was I saying? Okay, I don't think, if you don't like a busy yarn, I don't think, oh, I'm pulling my crochet hook up into myself. Or my knitting needle up into myself. I don't think this is going to be one that you would enjoy working with, and that's okay. Not every yarn design is for every person, and if it were, how boring everything would be, right? Everything would look the same. But like I said, this is extremely soft. It's extremely nice. Let me get the last double crochet done here. The yarn has a really nice feel, in my opinion. I should frog. Oh, it's so painful. I don't want to frog a yarn of a row of the knitting because it's a project I'm actually working on. Ow, 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 the dilemmas, the moral dilemmas, because I want to give you a full and complete review. But I don't want to frog a project I'm working on and then have to redo it because I'm lazy. Okay, I'm just going to frog the crochet section. No. Okay, never mind. I am going to go ahead and frog a row of my knitting only for you guys, only because I love you, and frankly, it's only like 25 stitches, so it's not that painful to read you. Okay, so I'm just going to do a couple of popcorn stitches here just to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 show how they look. I'm just going to put 3 double crochets in between. Oh man, I'm running up into this. Okay, I'll do another popcorn stitch here. As I'm sitting in here crocheting with you guys, I'm hearing the yarn on the hook. I did not hear that when I was making the hat, and as I said, this is the exact hook I used when making the hat. So, that to me wasn't an issue in my project. Maybe it's just because of the ambient noise in the room where I was crafting. I'm guessing that's what it was. I'll do one more row here just to kind of frame off the popcorn stitches, and then we'll take a look and frog everything. Well, not everything. I'm not going to frog all of that knit project I'm doing. So again, the knit project is not fully complete, but I will come back and share with you the completed projects when I complete them. I did start another kind of, it'll either end up either being a cowl or a ear warmer with the prism yarn as well. And when that one's done, I'll come on and share it with you so we all get an idea of how that yarn works up in a larger knitted project and not just a swatch type situation. Okay, so here's the back side. See, it doesn't have great stitch definition, but it does It feels nice. It feels soft. I'd put it as softer than a standard Red Heart. Well, I guess maybe, no, the bobbles don't show up at all. Like when you see it in relief, you kind of see it there, but straight on, I think it's wasted. I think cables would be wasted. I think this is a good, simple workhorse yarn to make good, you know, winter, nice warm items with. And I'm just going to yank it all out and we'll see how it frogs. It's frogging nicely here. Frankly, I'll just grab one end and treat it as roughly as you can. And boom, smooth as silk. Oh, wait, there's a little bit left, my starting chain. There we go. Perfect frog there. Oh, I'll deal with that later off camera. Oh, okay. And here we go. Only for you, because I love you, I will frog one single row. Smooth as butter. No issues whatsoever. So while I put this back on my needles, let's talk final opinions of this yarn. Oh, let me make sure I've got the... Oh, I might be putting the stitches on backwards, aren't I? Oh, if I have one row of twisted stitches, I'm not gonna complain. It'll be just fine. It will be just fine. Okay, the overall impressions of the yarn. I really like it. Okay, so now as I'm putting it back on, I am splitting it like the dickens. But I had no splitting issues with it while working with it. So I'm not gonna hold this against the yarn in any way. Come here, little stitches. Come here. You can do it. I realize I'm doing this very sloppy, and you know, the knitters amongst us who are clutching their pearls and gasping, I understand. I feel you, and I apologize for forcing you to witness that monstrosity. I think this is a good, I don't remember. I filmed the intro a few days ago. I don't remember the price of this yarn. Give me a couple seconds while I pull it up real quick on MaryMaxim.com. I remember believing it was very reasonably priced. Wait, what? Okay, Mary Maxim Ragg yarn. This is full price $4.99, on sale right now. Time of filming is 7/29/2023, so July 29th, 2023. $4.99 is a very, very good price for this yarn. That's full price. On sale $3.99, that's an even better price. I mean, it's 216 yards. That feels good. That feels nice. It feels like I'm getting some value for my craft dollar there, especially because I feel like this is going to create hardier, warmer winter items. This is not something I would use for anything summery. This might be cute as like a bag. Of course, because it's acrylic, you're going to want to line that bag, but I think it would look very cute as a bag. Very cute, as I said, as hats, scarves, cowls, mittens, gloves, that kind of thing. Rating it. This is going to get a high rating. But it's not going to be a 10. So Brian always gets mad at me when we like go to the hospital and they're like, what's your pain rating? And I'm like, you know, I can be having a kidney stone and be like, well, it's not a 10. And, you know, because I feel like the 10 is perfect. I can't imagine anything better than this yarn. And like 10 in the pain is like I've lost a limb, you know? Like, I can imagine that's like the worst thing I can think of. But I'm gonna go ahead and give this a solid... Okay, so frogging, that was super smooth. I mean, that's a 10 out of 10 frog factor. That there's been no knot, snags, imperfections. That is wonderful. That's a fabulous. The only thing that's holding me back from a perfect score on this yarn is the marled quality. And I know I've said that I really like that, and I do. But I do think it limits the type of stitches, and it's not a good yarn for more complicated things. So it's not going to be a yarn you can use for absolutely everything. It's going to have a niche usage for it. And for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and give it a... I'm going to give it an 8. I feel like 8 is good. I feel like it's very soft. It's very squishy. I have felt softer acrylic yarn. So it's not the softest acrylic yarn I've ever felt, but this is a very, very nice soft yarn. So please don't feel like I'm saying it's not. And because you can only use simple stitches with it, that does of course mean your project will likely be finished quicker because you can only use simple stitches. It's very easy to keep track of what I'm doing in this project. That's not a problem whatsoever. It's not like you have to be counting rows or anything like that super closely. Yeah, I'm going to say this is an 8 out of 10 kitty paws, in my opinion. There is... Oh, that's a hairbrush. Okay, I hope you don't see that on camera. I didn't realize you could see that. I could see that. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. 8 out of 10. Highly recommend. If you enjoy busier yarns, I think you will enjoy working with this. I think you'll like it. Give it a try. Let me know. If you have used it, let me know what you think. What are your thoughts? Did you enjoy using it? Did you not enjoy using it? What were your feelings on it? I want to know it all. Okay, I am going to go ahead and sign off, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.